Hey everyone, my name is Jordan Fashi. I'll be going over the Chapter 6, Critical Thinking and Reasoning. I'll be going over the differences between listening and hearing, why listening is the first component to critical thinking. We will also touch bases on imply or infer. Lastly, how self-regulation and bias work together. The difference between listening and hearing. The reason we need to know the difference is so we understand listening. Listening refers to the psychological process of interpreting or making sense of those sounds. Hearing refers to the psychological process of receiving sounds. Here are a few examples of listening and hearing. For listening, you have to make an effort to listen because you make a decision to listen. Like in class, you need to pay attention to the teacher to listen on what he or she is saying to understand what is happening. Now for hearing, there is no effort because you don't make a conscious decision to hear like a noise, an alarm, or an explosion. Listening is the first component to critical thinking, and here is why. It's the first component because we must focus on what is being said and not said. We must try not to be distracted by others' outside noises or internal noises of our own preconceived ideas because it takes away from us knowing what is being said and not said. Here's an example of why listening is the first component. During a speech, listening is supposed to help evaluate information and to make a choice. So let's say you are in an argument. You need to listen so you can evaluate what is being said to make a choice on what to say next. Next is imply or infer. Imply means to suggest or convey an idea. A speaker or a piece of writing implies things. Infer means that something in the speaker's words or a piece of writing helps us draw a conclusion outside his or her word. Now, examples of imply or infer. Imply is like when you imply for a guest to leave by saying that you are tired. Infer is when you tell a guest you are getting tired. The guest might infer that it is time to leave. Finally, let's listen on how self-regulation and bias work together. So self-regulation is our pre-existing thoughts on a subject. Biases is where you go off your own opinion. The goal of self-regulation is not to disavow or deny our opinions, but the goal is to create distance between our opinions and the message we evaluate. An example of self-regulation and biases working together. Let's say your best friend and your friend are in an argument. Your bias may say your best friend is right because that's your best friend, but with self-regulation, it will help you evaluate the situation than going off with an opinion because that's your best friend. And that's it.